Hello, people of the internet. It's your boy, Skinny Penis, with another replay. The funny 399k Napoli game. Quite a lot of damage for Napoli. I have never seen as much personally, because it's technically pretty rare. Like, you always trade HP for damage, so therefore high damage games are, let's say, very uncommon. It's not like a Smolly or Colbert, maybe even Des Moines, Anna, where you just have way more DPM. You can use islands, you spam over them, stuff like that. Nope, Napoli kind of has to find his own spotting most of the times. Napoli has to kind of run at people, be decently close, so therefore also get shot at. But hey, sometimes you get the blessed matchmaking. You only have one DD, where you have no carrier, no submarine, and the DD is in the middle. It's actually a division too, so the guy spawns in the middle. It's double BB destroyer. I guess in some situations maybe it's fucky and he could spawn on the flank, but it's very normal for the triple div to spawn mid. Therefore the DD being mid, and therefore me having pretty much one of the best or the best concealment on the flank against the other cruisers. Like, also the cruisers here would have like maybe slightly better concealment like Worcester, Utrecht, but not enough to actually, let's say, dodge a Napoli. Like, the few hundred meters in cruises don't matter. So for me, this is basically an invitation to play aggressive. Also, no DD doesn't only mean you're being spotted too early and outspotted, you also are not getting torped, right? There's basically no torpedoes. So perfect matchmaking. Occasionally it happens. I mean, I had great Napoli games lately. Just like pretty much lucky, I guess. A lot of great matchmakings, a lot of dumb enemies, because this is what it boils down to. You have half decent or half competent enemies. 12v12 is a bit too overwhelming for Napo. It doesn't bring utility. As said, it's like its tankiness is what it trades for damage. So like its HP, the HP it has, combined with the tankiness, it slowly trades away for damage. Obviously, the smoke is kind of an extra gimmick that can give you some damage for free. Won't be that much normally, because 8-7 is the smoke fire, or 8-8 is the smoke fire detect, so you can't just magically run at people and shoot at the same time. You have to let the secondaries go. But in general, you most likely want to use the smoke to get cooldown of heal and DCP. You want to use the smoke to turn out, to turn in, to chase for a prolonged period of time. This is kind of what you use it for. You also don't want to pop it immediately. Generally on Napo, you only want to really use the smoke when you're pressured and when you already took damage. Like, the instant smoke Napolis are kind of a meme, a joke. Like, you're full HP, you're tanky. Like, why would you immediately smoke and then afterwards suddenly you don't have a smoke for 3 minutes? So you're stuck in, in limbo basically, where you then lose HP and you don't have the get out of jail free card. But yeah, as you can see, the DD, the division is already lit, like the BBs of the division, so it's 100% secure that the destroyer sits in the middle. So the only thing I have to care for, because every BB wants to walk over to A, which is generally where the BBs end up, like A cap, behind the A cap, that's where they turn circles. So like, I can just push in, I can just be super aggressive, because there's no magically unspotted ship inside my smoke fire detect, so I can just shoot as much as I want. And well, there's no radar. I mean, the Worcester is further than 9 km away, and there's no DD that I potentially missed. There's no torpedo angle that could technically or randomly catch me off guard. So I can just play super far into their side of or into their half of the map, into their faces. And as you can see here also, it's a bit too much. It's a kited Worcester, Utrecht, and a main, specifically a main. Like, I do not kill a main fast. It takes a while. Even though that main player isn't the best. He's also not the worst. We checked the stats afterwards. I mean, I will farm 150k out of this individual. He's not the worst player, actually. It was like 50%er, or barely 50. He had like a lot of average damage, like 140 or some shit, I think I remember, on main. But in the end, somehow he still trolls the entire engagement against me, and I will be able to re-kill him. But yeah, you just turn out, you take your damage. I mean, we're up to 86k. I didn't really lose HP for that. It wasn't really necessary. And well, now I turned out unspotted, and I can pull my next push. Obviously, you want to also now give the smoke some time to reload, stuff like that. Also the DCP. And yeah, the Viasma was the only thing that could really punish me here. He thankfully died one shot, so now I'm kind of free to do whatever. It's only the main to my left, and I will be able to run down the Worcester now. And then also later on just push into their spawn. It's literally the perfect scenario. You don't have destroyers, you don't have people hiding on islands with raiders and stuff here that block me out of the flank. They're taking an open water fight with me. Very few people, most of the team went over to A, so I get dedicated 1v1s, like the Worcester here. I can even go dark right after, and even if you run a full secondary spec, which I'm doing here, like it's also the 3 million module secondary reload, I feel like you either go full secondary, like full, or you go full main gun with range mod, dispersion mod, outnumber, top grade, and then you go for gun damage and dispersion improvements only. You take the range mod mainly for the dispersion improvements because it's Petro dispersion curve, which means like if you compare Petro, ledge mod and range mod dispersion curves, the range mod is very close to the 10% improved dispersion from ledge mod. It's nearly the same even at a lot of close to mid-range distances, even longer range. So the dispersion formula itself gives the range mod way more of an advantage. Like on other ships, it's a bit copium. Sure, you get better vertical. That's what it does. Actually, no. Yeah, vertical. You get better vertical because in the vertical dispersion formula, the max range is a denominator. In the horizontal one, it isn't. So obviously, higher denominator means better dispersion afterwards. You could just look at the formula. But on these dispersion curves with the Petro and stuff, it's even more of a buff. So therefore, it's actually not that copium. And obviously, you have pretty strong guns. It's kind of like Henry penetration, and obviously overmatch against super lights. So having more range, you do Citadel cruises out to max range with range mod Napoli. But yeah, we're running a secondary spec here. Obviously, you're playing completely different then. Like the gun spec and the secondary specs, they play different. This game, for example, a gun spec would have overall, it would have netted me still a lot of damage, and I probably would have still been able to kill this flank. But then afterwards, for example, now the main and stuff, the secondaries do deal a lot of damage just because I can stay in secondary range. As you can see, it's perfect. There is nothing in my broadside, nothing middle, and there's no DD in my smoke hard light. I can just shoot, use my secondaries. Like my smokes give me a full duration, free damage output, which by the way isn't that much in Napoli. Like the smoke, you deal a lot of damage, but it's not like a smoked Jacksonville or some shit, or a smoked Worcester, smoked Smolly. But if you time it right, as here, because I already healed, so now I use the smoke to keep chasing. I get time off my DCP and heal, and I can deal free damage, and then hopefully I can trade the remainder of my HP into him. You will see that he actually fucks up a lot of volleys, because normally in these situations you do take like 15 to 20k hits from main. You're way too close. But you kind of have to be close for additional secondary damage to actually kill these people. Also, the closer you are, the less your shitty dispersion matters, because Napoli with full sec spec, no dispersion mod, no range mod. I also don't have outnumbered, because you run top grade for sec reload. You do struggle to hit stuff at mid to long range. Your guns are trolly. So being close, like sub 10 km, obviously allows your guns to also be really effective. Specifically against big targets like a main, you will still hit all your shots. What you want to do here is obviously you run at an angle at him, and every single time he shoots, you angle in, but only then. And as you will see, we will perfectly dodge or even bounce 2 full volleys. So like now I'm turning up again, you have to find the right and proper angle, and then you level out again, and right about when the next shot comes, you immediately swing your rudder. Very simple, very straightforward. Actually, we kill him here already, but like before that, 2 volleys went into the third, just because you turn in right after he shoots. With Napoli, you can do that, because your side plating actually does ricochet all the AP, if it's auto bounce angle, or even like ricochet angles. You have to remember that in ricochet angles, there's a likelihood that you get penetrated. So for example, the cheek sit, sometimes it gets hit, sometimes it doesn't. It's basically just a likelihood, or like a Statistically, there's a chance at certain angles for some ships to penetrate or ricochet. And then there's auto bounce, which means it's such a steep angle that it automatically ricochets. But yeah. And obviously there's angles where you're so flat that it automatically pans. That's it. That's, or like there is the penetration check right after. But yeah, as you could see, perfect game. We're up to 228, which is already insane damage. Napoli doesn't have the highest averages with the secondary buffs, because the secondary skill is really new. It's like 1.5, 2 years old now, but technically in the lifespan of the game, it's new that cruisers also get a sec improvement. Obviously, it buffed Napoli and also Michelangelo the most, because those ships are kind of designed to run a sec spec. They also have the tools like the armor, the smoke. They kind of want to do that. So yeah, ever since then, you can reach like 140, 50. Obviously, there's also more HP in the game, but you can reach like 140, 50k average in Napo if you manage that. It's actually kind of a proof that you understand positioning more than AFK farming in Kite, because Napoli does not farm very well in Kite. Your guns are not good enough and your DPM isn't good enough to just sit somewhere and farm with HE from Kite. Doesn't really work. You won't get the results. Playing more aggressive with the smokes, with the armor, with the secondaries even. Even if you have a main gun spec, you want to kind of be closer, because you run a main gun spec to mainly catch either DDs with with strong HE volleys, or you catch cruisers with strong AP volleys and flat BBs. That's what you kind of want to do with a main gun spec. You don't want to sit in Kite with HE either. So yeah, if you have good stats in Napoli, like really good stats, a good win rate, good kills, but also high average, it kind of proves that you can, or you do understand how to position yourself really well, angle really well. That's kind of it. Also because it doesn't have the damage output in like one engagement. Like if a BB fucks up and you're sitting behind a rock with Annapolis, obviously you're gonna melt it in seconds. In Napoli, even if people make mistakes, push in too deep, like sit around in stupid positions, you're not gonna kill them that fast. It's a ship that deals damage over time, and you need a lot of time to deal high damage. So yeah, 220k, now 250k is a lot of damage. Here, I also waste my smoke. You could see by the way the AP, it is really great. You can pretty much also Citadel in incomp at certain distances. That's not that rare. But yeah, smoke may be a bit panicky, because I didn't know, or I didn't see where the incomp was watching. And anything that has 30 overmatch or more is kind of scuffed on your broadside, because there is not really a chance that it trolls your flat broadside that much. The turtleback or some internal plating on the turtleback, on the sloped sit, I think, side sit, is 30 mil or something like that. Or the inner turtleback is also 30 mil. So like these overmatchers, they actually have a way higher chance of citadeling you flat than any 406 BB or 380 BB. Those BBs are the ones that get the super troll volleys where you get like 0 sits, only overpens. Yeah, Napoli does have quite the troll of an armor. The armor is more designed to be troll against cruisers though, I feel. Because most battleships, even if they don't feature 30 overmatch, can still Citadel fist you at range. And yeah, the thing is, you need your HP. It's basically what you trade for damage. So if you eat like a double sit early, sure, you may still have 40k HP after healing. But well, with 40k HP, Napoli loses a lot of its value, because you do have to play inside BB secondary ranges, close to people. And if you have ships like a Vermont, a Colombo is really bad by the way, or a Maine, and they actually hit you, they just target superstructure or nose, they will deal 20, close range, they will deal over 20k most of the time. Like, it's not that uncommon. But yeah, push the flank, obviously, mentioned it multiple times, perfect scenario. Now, we have perfect scenario again, kind of going into another 1v1 for now, and having yeah, well, having to slow down. I wasted my smoke, can't really do much with this anymore, so I have to kind of like either try to kill some cruisers on the left, because now every single ship on the left died, or somehow get a 1v1 against the Pommern going. But I mean, it's a full HP Pommern. My secondaries are kind of nice on superstructure at range. That's also why I kind of want to stay further away. The secondaries of Napoli have to pretty much arc into the superstructure of the Pommern. Otherwise, I don't really deal damage with them, because the side platings, decks and stuff, especially close range, the main armor belts, the sides, you don't penetrate anything with the secondaries. If this would have been a, I don't know, a 32 mil BB, you could shred him with your secondaries. Now I somehow have to get a lot of AP damage into him. Like the secondaries deal damage here, sure, like probably 15k already, something like that. But I need AP in the broadside and I need torpedo hits. Like otherwise I'm not going to kill the Pommern. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, the game is pretty much already lost. I don't know if the replay bug is, yeah, the replay bug is still on. We're down 200 points. The green side is the enemy team. It ticks twice, that's why you can see it. They still haven't fixed that. So now I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. So what I can do here at 314k with a Confederate proc already, which obviously is amazing too. Like you get additional 15% reload on all armaments, just amazing. Well, I can sell my ship. I have no consumables left. One heal basically, and well, try to deal as much damage with that as possible. But we're not gonna win here. There's 5 ships able to basically surround me. So we try our best. We will get more damage. I said we will go up to 399, but we're gonna lose the game. This one pretty much unwinnable. Like I don't think there is anything I could have done. Maybe mid-game going middle, stuff like that. Like ignoring the Pommern, maybe fighting the cruisers, turning in towards them. I thought my BBs could handle that, and there were still so many ships alive that I kind of gambled on it. Like my BBs surely can trade like 1 or 2 of the overmatchable cruisers, and then I can get into A, kill the Pommern. Get A, and then we can maybe win. A lot of copium. If I would have known what happened, maybe I'll just kill the cruisers and fight these people here later. Debatable. Also, to be fair, I also wanted to stay away from the ZF6 and the Yodo a bit. Because even though I can kill them, I mean the Yodo isn't that scary because you can just see the torpedoes very early, but the ZF6 has Mogador torps which are really cracked, so you kind of want to stay away from torpedo sources. That's just it. Something like a Yinan, for example, you just have to like guess where the torps are. You have to wiggle around a lot, so you throw off his torps. You cannot really play into something like that. Same as like a Shimmer, a Jaeger, and worst case a YY. Really bad ships to fight in. You do not want to fight them. But yeah, you saw this game also, like you could use the smoke, and it's not only that I could run down the main in a smoke for free, I could also spot him myself with the fighter, which it will keep. Like this gameplay will stay because they give it a spotter plane, which probably increases its range then too. But yeah, you will be, if you get these situations, I put on triple fire, but I actually get a citadel here, I think. Yep. I could have been a double sit and a kill. Would have brought me over 400k. Unfortunate. But as you could see, the potential damage, we can look into it real quick. 399, very sad. Very close to 400k. Got ourselves a Confederate fairly late in the game. That's the thing, you need to hit 6 ships. I mean, I was on a flank. So Confederate good and all, but you only get it mid-game. You can't, or like in these situations where you get a lot of damage on in dedicated 1v1s, you obviously don't get to shoot 6 different ships most of the time. So therefore, well, comes in late. Raken as well, bunch of shit. You also, like with that amount of main gun hits, you proc the Sansonetti consumable duration. Most likely happens very late for Napo, so it already used like 1 or 2 smokes, 2, 3 heals maybe, so it's a bit meh on Napoli, because you're not really kited farming gun hits all the time. The other proc would be the kill for range, which is obviously amazing, because the more range on those guns is generally always better. So yeah, Sansonetti definitely something you should run. 2.4 base, more than the enemy. I don't know. I mean, I ran my flank. The cap was ours for the entire game. If the team just plays like that, they play like that. Nothing I can really do. It's maybe up to some others to also deal slightly more damage, and then we could have won. Because if I'm not getting shotted by the other people, I kill the Pommern and the Utrecht, and I do get A. Like I can win that 1v2. Especially the way the Pommern played it. But yeah, here you can see it, the main 155k, Pommern 100k. Then the Worcester, it's like, ships like Worcester are notoriously bad against Napoli. I pen him everywhere with the secondaries basically. I have the good AP. I pen him everywhere with HE if he really just wants to angle. So you're kind of like a cruiser 1v1 enthusiast. That's kind of what you want to do. BBs are always a bit sketch, and destroyers, you basically have nothing to fight them. Something like the Utrecht, that's one Utrecht, that's the second one. The second one, for example, I never shot. As you can see, my secondaries pen him everywhere, 17,000. That's what you want to do in Napoli. Flap broadside cruisers, like this one here, like the Worcester. And then secondaries on the cruisers as well. Obviously, super lights like Utrecht suffer quite a lot. In the end, all my heals, 100k HP you can play with, and 4.2 million potential. Then again, there were, I think, like 3-4 Utrecht drops in there. I think main gun potential damage was around 3.5 million, which is a lot. Like, if you get these situations where you can angle towards the ships you're fighting and you're not inside crossfires, you can tank a lot of volleys. It's just hard to get into those positions, read the map correctly, find those 1v1s, and also actually know when to push and when not to push. As you can see here, full secondary spec, even though they weren't like the perfect chips to secondary, 32mm BBs, that would be like the perfect thing to run down, like a Patrie, not a main, but yeah, 152k secondary damage is quite a lot. We only got one torpedo hit, 2 torpedo hits actually. Also the secondary damage gives you a bit more torp damage, which can be helpful if you're close range and you need to rush and you need all 4 torps, obviously more damage, better. And then you're mainly AP focused. That wouldn't change even if you're on the main gun spec. The ship plays around concealment armor, smoke, like being close range, and then using AP to pressure people, to catch people. HE you can use. Obviously, sometimes you just shoot HE, like on the main when he angles. Normally, you want to be AP focused though on this one here. Well, yeah. What do we have for credits? Nothing special. I wasn't really running boosters. But yeah. Amazing game. I was very happy. I mean, even if it's a defeat, that's like pretty much unheard of Napoli damage. As I said, very uncommon for Napoli to get to these kind of damage numbers, just because it basically goes low when it has high damage. It's very rare that you get free farm like I did. And that also BBs fuck their volleys so badly. Like the main did whiff 2 shots fully. The others weren't much better either. The incomp whiffed, or the incomp ignored me. I mean, you gotta be honest. And the Pommern is, I mean, it's a tier 9 BB. He dealt some decent damage with the AP, like he targeted the nose and the superstructure better. Maybe I could have done a bit more damage at the end if he doesn't hit those shells, but hey, I mean, it's a BB. They can click you. And to be fair, to make the point, like, is Napoli really broken? In randoms, not so much. Really not so much. I mean, the stats for, I mean, in that regard, like, most people that aren't experienced perform really poorly on it. It's one of the worst performing cruisers overall, because it's just like the gameplay is not that straightforward. You have to first work for position, timings, and stuff, and then you get your damage, and you have to really read the room. It's kind of a theme with the Italian ships, like the Barbiano and the Regolo aren't much better. You have to really read the ships that are in front of you, what they're going to do, what are you up against, when can you smoke, when are you not allowed to smoke, when can you push, when not. That's kind of it with the Italians, I guess. Because you always lose spotting when you're smoking yourself, or you can't shoot anymore in the cruisers. But yeah, the spotter plane or the fighter plane obviously helping out in this one here, and generally like a strategy you can use against easy to spot ships. The fighter gives you spotting yourself in your entire smoke, so don't forget to have both up at the same time. Can be helpful, can be really helpful. We're kind of looking at the secondary damage of the main real quick. Yeah, we did 91. Actually, main eats a lot more secondary damage than anticipated because its superstructure is so massive. You arc so many shells into it. It does eat a lot of damage. And then it heals back and basically unsaturates itself. Yeah. I hope you liked it. I'm obviously happy. And I'll see you for the next video with some additional or new super high damage games in, I guess, Buffalo it's gonna be. Adios.